Hey everybody, Chris here. Dogecoin along with Bitcoin having a little bit of a technical reset going on right now. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out as well as when I do live streams. And so far, we're about halfway through the first 10 days of August where we've been giving away Dogecoin every day during the live stream. So if you want to join in on the fun, and also learn a little bit more about Doge and Bitcoin, and we look at a lot of other cryptos during the live streams as well. Come join in, make sure you're subscribed, you got your notifications on, and join in on the lives, because we have a lot of fun there. But right now, we got this consolidation period going on here in August. Looks like we're back to the summer of chop kind of scenario. Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here with Dogecoin chart right over 20 cents. That's right, Dogecoin holding just over 20 cents here, seeing if we can bounce off of this as support and move up higher. That would be a good move, as 20 cents last night was resistance. So just on a short-term scale, we're looking at that. Bitcoin is over $114,000 here, trying to set that as support, and ETH has moved over $3,600. We zoom out on ETH a bit to the 1 hour chart, and you'll see now again, a couple days ago we were enjoying this move back up. So now we are resetting. That's right, this is resetting for our technical indicators for ETH and Bitcoin and Dogecoin. So Doge did not complete this reverse head and shoulders that Alan and others had called for. This would have been the move up over 21 cents. And Doge said, nope, we're going to go back and we're going to reset here. But Doge isn't doing as bad as others. Like XRP was doing the same thing, but couldn't hold $3. So XRP falling back. Again, we look at a lot of these other cryptos during the live streams. I take requests and we look at a bunch of different things. So join in on the live streams. But for now, for Doge, just over 20 cents. What does this mean? Let's get into the news here. We retested 19 cents support level. Technical indicators reset. That's right. That's where we are right now. We have bullish technical indicators. Trader sentiment suggests a potential rebound ahead. Remember last week when I was a bear? Well, I'm not a bear now. Now I'm back on the bull side. But last week, charts were looking bearish. The news was bearish. Chris was a bear. And the price went down. But over the weekend, a little sentiment kind of started turning around, which was good. Too long didn't read. Here's the TLDR here, right? We know that Doge price fell nearly 30% from its July peak of 28 cents, testing 19 cent support level. Could have bought on the dip at $18.95, right? As we said, $18.95. I know there's still some bears out there talking about 17 cent, 16 cent Doge. Don't be stuck on the sidelines. That's all I say. A late July 2200-day golden cross. No, we don't do the golden cross on the 20. It's the 50. And that is coming later in August. We looked at that. This is the first place that you have heard about this upcoming new golden cross for Dogecoin. Most likely near the end of August, beginning of September, it looks like is my forecast. We can take a look at that during the live stream as well. But we did talk about this yesterday, and that on the exchanges where there's futures trading, those that do leverage trading, longs and shorts, the long positions are outnumbering the shorts by a 3-to-1 margin, meaning there's a lot more traders out there betting on Doge going up than going down on a 3-to-1 margin. So that's bullish as well. We got momentum indicators, RSI, MACD, cooling off a little, but resetting again for a potential rebound. That's typically what we see as that turns around. Bitcoin, however, Bitcoin had kind of a bunch of outflows. Those ETF holders, soon as they see like a little uncertainty in the markets, all the tariff stuff, and we had like no interest rate cuts, and they're kind of fickle, and they're just like, I'm going to sell my ETFs. So you've got to be careful when the Doge ETFs come that doesn't mean people are just buying and holding, right? Now, there's been a lot of rotation from Bitcoin going into ETH because the ETH is having inflows while Bitcoin is having outflows. That's what happened yesterday. And it's like, could this be that alt season rotation happening? Dan Crypto says, with Bitcoin still holding, local high or low made, key level to break will be 116K. Above that, I'm assuming the correction is done. So, again, this is zoomed out on the daily. We had the 123,000 peak there. That was the new all-time high. So reset back down. Very classic pattern on a reset. And then looks like Bitcoin is ready to move higher. And Mag says, look, if we zoom out and we look at like the ultimate trading strategy, all based off the Bitcoin halvings, if you just bought 500 days before the Bitcoin halving and you sold 500 days after, and then you waited until 500 days before the next Bitcoin halving and bought, and then you sold 500 days after the Bitcoin halving, and then you did it again, bought 500 days before the next Bitcoin halving. Where are we going to be 500 days after the Bitcoin halving? If history repeats, Bitcoin will be higher. So you just follow that strategy, you make a lot of money, I guess. Just doesn't mean that's always going to happen in the future, but I mean, wow. That's pretty telling. And also, if you look on the curve, where are we? Are we optimistic? We're in the optimism, going into excitation, trembling, and then euphoria. That euphoria, that's going to be coming this fall, Chris believes. Still on that bandwagon. And then, are we going to see this big bear market here? Oh, it's a temporary setback. I'm a long-term investor. And then we go into fear and despair, capitulation. We go back through the bear market again. Is that really going to happen again? A lot of people calling for Bitcoin not to do that next cycle because of all the banks and the institutions and governments all buying, holding Bitcoin strategic reserve, not selling. But we got those big ETF holders. They're selling. So we'll see how all that plays out when we get there. We still have this to come, I believe. This is what is coming. And on Bitcoin dominance, the Bitcoin dominance, we did see that mid-July swoon as ETH and other alts trading very well. Bitcoin not as much. Right? We see that in the green markets, so Bitcoin dominance falls. Comes up a little bit, and then we have that lower high off the higher high, and then could move down into the 50s. So this is what we're watching right now. As we head through August, I think it's going to chop around a bit longer until we get into September. And then I think we're going to start to see that move. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. For Dogecoin, look, traders remain bullish. The weekend bounce did spark hope for reversal. And I was on that. I was a bear last week. You guys remember that. But I had a good weekend trading, and coming into this week, I was like, okay, I'm turning around. Coming back bullish again. Technical patterns and trader positioning suggest potential rebound opportunity. That's right. So we will be watching interest rates. If the interest rate cut in September for the U.S. Fed is looking like now 87% chance of a rate cut. It's been like 87 to 90%. We've been watching this coming for interest rate cuts. Again, that's September. That's not here in August. We got to get through. I mean, a lot of people are on holiday, right? And so we're going to be chopping around, I think, for a little while, though. So we have these mixed signals because of that. Again, it's August, but the big golden cross is going to be coming probably end of August into September. And of course, Ali talking about like whales buying a bunch of Doge again. And some Doge is not a stock. It's just, these sort of dumb things. But 3 reasons Doge still holds value. Number 1, high visibility across exchanges and wallets. You can buy Doge anywhere. Doge is easy to buy. Some of these new meme tokens, it's like, where do I get that again? How do I get that? What's the Doge? You can buy it anywhere, right? You can store it anywhere. Everyone's Dogecoin, right? Doge is everywhere, which is why I think the OG meme is all going to come back for Dogecoin. We got the Doge ETF coming. 90% chance now of a Doge ETF by October 17th. That's going to be very bullish for Doge. Now, we don't know how the whole trading is going to go once it gets started. We've seen what's happened with ETH, what's happened with Bitcoin on their ETFs. What is a Dogecoin ETF going to look like? Solid liquidity, always, wherever you're trading Doge. Plenty of liquidity. Market support. What's going to happen, though, with X integration speculations? That's going to continue to grow into the fall as X payments, X money, right, starts up. It's going to be a hype for Doge. And this doesn't even get into all the building stuff we talked about on yesterday's live stream. That's right, the Tuesday live stream was all about what is building for Doge. The first 15 minutes of that live stream, I covered Doge OS. I covered the House of Doge. I covered Origin. Like all of these things being built for Dogecoin. So check that out. This is all, and of course, Trader Allen, right? He's got a new chart out, looking at the 50-day moving average here. Well, this is on the 3-day, actually. This is on the 3-day. Again, he's looking at patterns, right? Big circle, little circle, big circle, little circle, right? Reclaimed the 50 SMA, completed a retest, indicating bullish momentum in the midterm time frame. Holding up at this level could drive it to another high. This is October. Again, another chart showing this possibility for October coming. I sound like a broken record on this, right? But that's what I keep saying. And then when we zoom out and we look at 2017, we look at 2021, especially with the overhyped blow off top in 2021. But here we are again, 2025. A potential for a 300% rally gets us back to, well, that would be the previous all-time high if we did that from here. That's a good target. You know, I know a lot of people talking dollar Dogecoin, but let's see what happens with Doge. Let's see where we see the integrations, the actual things happening with Doge. And it isn't just, like Elon hype, which we had in 2021. I think that'd be good for Dogecoin. But I know a lot of you right now are like, Dogecoin, it's so weak. It's like, well, again, this consolidation period we have going here is a great buying opportunity. But I know some of you are just going to, it's going to drop to 17, 16 cents. I'll wait till then. Well, okay. Again, you have a chance of being sidelined there if we don't see that much weakness in August. But we'll be watching it here. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this sort of reset, the technical indicators, what they're talking about, and with Bitcoin as well. Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.